circle bright, weave your web of dark and light. Earth, air, fire.
Good morning, Moonbeams. Welcome back to Which is the Moon. I'm your Monday hostess, Natalie, and we are in week 11 of season 20 here at Which is the Moon. I want to welcome you all back and thank you so much for being with us for yet another video. This week we are doing our Share a Spell, and for those of you that have watched the channel for a while and have seen my personal channel, you know I'm not really fond of Share a Spell week, simply because my spells tend to change a little bit each time I do them as I tailor them to the person, situation, or whatever. However, I do have a very simple little travel spell kind of thing that I'm going to show you guys today. I could have probably done this under the Bruise week, but I decided I was going to do it this week instead. Now, how many times have you guys been to a hotel or a motel, even worse, right? Or a bed and breakfast, right? Everybody's doing the Airbnb now. We really don't know who's been there before us. We don't know who's going to come after us. And we don't know what kind of energy has been flowing through these locations as we enter into them. Sometimes you get a sense, like if you ever gone to a hotel room and you just had a really bad feeling about the room and you couldn't quite figure out what it was, and you know, it's just an icky feel. Could have been somebody had an argument in that room, that somebody's relationship ended there, that somebody was cheating on a spouse there, or something of that nature. So we never really know what kind of energies are flowing in a space that we're going to be staying in. And since this is going to be your home, away from home for however much time, I thought I would share with you guys a very simple spell spray that I use to cleanse any area where I go. Now, the nice thing about this is that it smells okay. So if you, it actually smells amazing. If you are going like to an interview, you can use it to cleanse and protect your space. So you can spray it on yourself, which will help to keep any bad or negative energies the competition, who may be also there to interview for, can do. You could use it in the workspace to cleanse your workspace, to keep people from, you know, anything like that. I mean, it's got multiple uses, but for me, when I originally created this, my intent was to have something to take to a hotel. So since we now have the airline requirements that you can only have 2.5 liters, and actually if you put this in your bag, I would put it in a baggie before you put it in your bag, but if you do, then you don't have to worry about it. But if it's going to be in your carry-on luggage, then I would recommend getting the regulation size 2 fluid ounce spray bottle. As you can see, I got this from Walmart. This actually has in it 2 ounces of the rosemary hydrosol that I showed you guys how to make a few videos back. I'm going to try to link that video in the down bar for those of you that may have missed that video. Making a hydrosol is remarkably easy, and you could use it in place of an essential oil, which in this case is exactly what I'm doing. I have rosemary essential oil, but I'm not going to use it for this purpose. When it comes to making the sprays, I like to have a little bit of water because you need something to dilute the other essential oils you're going to be using. So you will need a 2 fluid ounce bottle. You will need 2 fluid ounces, or almost 2 fluid ounces, not quite all the way to the top, of rosemary hydrosol. Rosemary is well known for its protective and cleansing properties, which is exactly why we are using that for this. The other thing that I like to put into it is lavender, a couple of drops of lavender essential oil. I will tell you, be careful which essential oil you buy. You want lavender Augustifeniola. Sorry. Lavender Augustifeniola, not the spike lavender. Spike lavender, and I'm blanking on its chemical name right now, on its Latin name right now. Spike lavender varies from Lavandula Augustina. Okay. I was saying it fine earlier. Augustifeniola. Okay. The difference is, go ahead and laugh at me. It's fine. I was saying it fine all the way up to making this video. Augustifeniola. Okay. The difference is when you look at the gas chromatography mass spectrometry reports of those 2 essential oils, what you will notice is that there are high concentrations of linalool in both. Linalool is the chemical that gives it its calming properties. They're pretty even. There's a little bit more in the Augusta Feniola than there is in the spike lavender. However, what you'll see in the spike lavender is that it also contains high amounts of camphor and a couple of other chemicals that are not calming. So it's not the kind of lavender oil you would want to use in a calming mixture or in your diffuser if you're trying to promote calm in the household. It is actually a highly potent decongestant. So don't use the spike lavender. It's got a kick. Use the Augusta Feniola. It's much, much more calming. Or officinalis, lavender officinalis. So what you're going to do is you're going to open up your bottle. Oh, I didn't tell you the other essential oils. Orange, frankincense, and I like to add a little patchouli for the masculine energies. To me, rosemary seems very feminine, very nurturing. Patchouli is very masculine, very earthy, very protective. I find it very protective, but in a different way that rosemary is. So you're going to put your intention into that rosemary hydrosol. You want to tell it, I usually speak to it, what its intent is. And its intent is to cleanse and protect the space to make it safe to be in energetically. Then I'm going to add a couple of drops of the patchouli oil, and I'm going to do the same thing with that. So I put in about 2 or 3 of the drops, not much. And if your little stopper flows really quick, then get a little dropper and add 1 or 2, 3 drops of the patchouli. I love that earthy smell. Oh. Patchouli is also well known as an aphrodisiac. It was used a lot in the 60s, just so you know. So if you want to add a little of that, you can definitely do that. But I usually do it to add a masculine layer of protection, much like a father would give you. So rosemary mother, patchouli father. The orange is well known as a cleansing agent, right? Physically a cleansing agent. It also is very pleasant to smell. So I'll add 3 drops of that, and that's to cleanse the space of anything both mundane and magical, energetic that may be missing from the room or maybe messing with it. And then frankincense is also, I add 2 drops of that. And that is also just a protective agent. So you would speak that into your hydrosol. Then you're going to put it on there and you shake it really good. Okay. And take a few minutes with it. When you add these ingredients, take a few minutes. Give it a few minutes to infuse into the hydrosol. And you could tell that this has been in the refrigerator because you are supposed to refrigerate hydrosol. So if you have some of this left after your trip, then I would definitely recommend keeping it in the refrigerator. It'll keep for up to a year in the refrigerator. You're fine. But then you shake it up and then it's ready to go. I would recommend shaking it right before you use it as well, but it smells divine. So, you know, when you go into like a hotel room and places like that, I know some people take sage bundles or incense matches and things like that, but some of these hotels have non-smoking rules. And so if you're in a non-smoking room and they smell the smoke, you're going to get dinged for it. So this is a really nice alternative to that. Also, if people are highly allergic to the smoke in the air, you can use this to cleanse your home as well. If you wanted to add a layer of love and harmony within your home, you could add a couple of drops of what do you call it, ylang ylang oil instead, or rose oil, depending on the type of love you want to cultivate. I like ylang ylang for a calming, harmonious love, and so I'll add a little bit of that in there, and you can spray your bed sheets with it. You can spray it around your room. You can spray it around the house, and it's absolutely wonderful. Again, you would need to keep it in the refrigerator, you know, if you don't use all of it, and you can always add to it. So if you use half of it, you could add more rosemary hydrosol and add to it, you know, whatever you want to do, or any other hydrosol. If you wanted to use a couple of different hydrosols, if you can't access essential oils, but you have access to the plant itself, you don't have to use the essential oils. You can use a mix of hydrosols. So you could make various different hydrosols and mix those and add those in, and that would work quite well too. Again, you can spritz yourself with it. You can, there's nothing, unless you have allergies. I was going to say, if you're allergic, your skin is very sensitive, the orange can be irritating. Sometimes the rosemary can be irritating. Frankincense can be irritating, so just be cautious. If you know you have sensitive skin, don't spray it directly on your skin. Spray it on your clothes instead. But you can use it to kind of to spritz around you to keep the air around you harmonious. I would also recommend the next time you go to a hotel or an Airbnb or anything, check the mattresses, lift up the sheets and look at the mattresses. Look for little blood spots along the seam on the mattress. If you see them, lift up the mattresses. They may have bed bugs. That's been a real problem in some areas of the country recently. And since it's 2020, you never know what's coming at you this year. I'm sure Godzilla's on his way. Just a few things like that. But I like to spray the bed. I like to spray that whole room with it. And the scent doesn't last for a long, long time. So by the time you leave the room, it's probably going to be gone. And so you won't get in trouble for any of the rules on non-smoking. You don't have to worry about, setting off a smoke alarm or anything like that. This is really, really good to use for that. So I hope that you guys enjoyed my share a spell. Remember to really put your intention into it. Give it some time to infuse, into each other and to blend and to work magically together before you use it. I wouldn't mix it right when. You can, I guess, but give it a few minutes to sit and concentrate and kind of work. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, safe, and happy rest of 2020 as we move into this holiday season, because for me, the holidays started September 1st this year. As you can see, my daughter and her boyfriend came by and decorated the house for me yesterday, so thank you again so much for watching. Enjoy your Mabon season and your Samhain as we move into that. And I'll see you guys next week. Blessed be.